What's up, everybody? This is time to wrestle with Suplexus. I'm Suplexus, and today at 2 in the morning, I present to you Future Slam 7 WrestleMania 41. This has been about a week in the making since I dropped the teaser, but it is now time for Future Slam 41, and we are covering a lot of matches in this video. We are doing 6 matches for night 1 and 6 matches for night 2. So let's not waste any more time with the introduction. Let's get started. The first match of WrestleMania 41 on night 1 is a big one. It is Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. So, if you didn't watch the Rumble, sorry about that. If you didn't watch the Rumble, last time we saw Roman Reigns, he was getting stomped by Seth Rollins. He got stomped on the steel steps, but the worst one was when he got stomped face first into the ground. It was rough. So, how do we get to this match? Well, as you may know, Seth Rollins is in the Elimination Chamber match, and in that match, he will lose to the eventual winner, who will be revealed later in the video. It might not be who you expect based on the way I've talked about this wrestler. So, anyways, Seth is unsuccessful in the chamber, and his path to WrestleMania is unclear. However, it soon becomes clear when Roman Reigns returns seeking vengeance on Seth Rollins. Now, the storyline here, it's really based off their past. They have so much history with each other, whether it is the Shield days back in 2013, 2014, whether it's Seth cashing in Money in the Bank on him, whether it is Royal Rumble 2022 when they fought each other, whether it's Seth beating him in 2016, and more recently, Seth Rollins being the primary factor in Roman losing his championship at WrestleMania 40. This is a WrestleMania 40 shirt. That's what I'm showing that. Yep. So let's heat it up once again at the Royal Rumble, and based on the brawls these two getting, the promo battles, which will be legendary because of all that history they have, it is announced Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41. And if you're looking at the background, wondering what's going on, I'll get more into that later. So, at WrestleMania, to kick off the show, these two go at it, and it is a burn burner. It is a 5-star classic anywhere on the planet, and they just show out one of the best matches of Roman Reigns' career, one of the best matches of Seth Rollins' career, but in the end, Seth Rollins picks up the victory. Roman Reigns can't beat this guy, and after all the battling after the bruise, Seth gets a lucky curve stomp and goes victorious in this match. So, after the match, because we're seeing Seth Rollins, he's showing these heel tendencies. He is not quite a heel by WrestleMania, but after the match, he goes outside to the ring, gets a chair, boom, smashes it over Roman's back. And Roman Reigns, after this, he walks to the back and he is contemplating his career. He doesn't know what to do. He pushes Heyman away because this is the same chair shot that traumatized him back in 2014, and he hasn't got over it since, unfortunately. So Roman is contemplating his career. Seth Rollins beats Roman in a clean match without many interferences. So that is how we kick off WrestleMania. So the next match now, we got one of my childhood favorites, one of my favorites here. And the next one, we got Io Sky, another one of my favorite wrestlers, against Rhea Ripley, against Bianca Belair in a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. So, just like the last one, let's see where we got here, or how we got here. So, as you know, the Elimination Chamber is coming up, and just off the top of my head, the announced people in the match are Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Bailey, and someone else who I am forgetting. Yep, that's what happens when I do it off the top of my head, unfortunately. So, oh, Roxanne? No, Roxanne hasn't qualified. Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is in it. So, at the Elimination Chamber, Bianca Belair overcomes the odds and she punches her ticket to a Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania. So, it seems at this point, well, it seems obvious that Bianca would get a one-on-one match. However, there's one thing standing in the way of her fighting Rhea. The night after the Chamber, Io Sky is gonna get her title shot against Rhea Ripley. So, on the Raw after the Chamber, that headlines show big fight feel, all that. And throughout the show, Bianca, she's a bit frustrated that Io is getting his title shot. So during the match, you have them go at it. It'll be good, I'm sure. It'll definitely be good. Who am I kidding? So at one point, Rhea Ripley goes to hit Io, but Bianca sitting by the announce table. Well, not the safest spot, Bianca. So Rhea nails her. She nails Bianca Belair accidentally, and perhaps it happens again in the match. So, long story short, in this match, Bianca Belair, she ends up lashing out and she shoves Rhea Ripley, causing a DQ. Once again, you get screwed out of the championship. So Bianca, she's upset at Rhea. They're like shoving each other, and Io is like collateral damage. Like she wasn't involved really. So the next few weeks, we have Io's chase. She is trying to get in that match for the women's title, and eventually it's she has to run a gauntlet. It's like similar to Kofi Kingston's journey to WrestleMania 35. She has to do this stuff. She has to run a big gauntlet against the Raw superstars to get into that match. She the first person in that match is Bianca Belair, and she beats her. And then the final person, it's Adam Pearce comes out. If you want a shot at the women's title, you should be able to beat the women's world champ. And Io doesn't pin or submit Rhea Ripley, but she gets like a count out victory. Both of them are on the outside. Io barely makes it in, and she's in the triple threat. Now it's a triple threat feud. We have a scenario where Bianca is upset because Io didn't really win the Rumble or the Chamber to get in, so she's very frustrated. It's heating up between them. Bianca's got history with Io, of course. Io feels that Rhea screwed her over twice out of the women's title shot. And yeah, it all makes sense at the end. Triple threat match. And this is a fantasy booking video, so what I want, I give you a run with the championship. I have her win, have her pin Rhea Ripley. They could run it back at Backlash. I would also love Io versus Bianca in a 60-minute Iron Man match. Give me that. So I have Io Sky win. Big babyface victory for WrestleMania. Overcomes the odds. Amazing moment. And Rhea Ripley, she doesn't need this win. And Bianca Belair might be busy with the Jade Cargill sooner or later. So you could hold the belt. We'll see how long it lasts. But that's what I would do. So now we got the next match. And the next one is for the United States Championship. We've got the cocky upstart Carmelo Hayes, H1M, or him, apparently, that's how you spell it, versus LA Knight. Yeah. The build for this match, first of all, I have LA Knight win the championship, beat Nakamura. I'm sorry, Nakamura's reign is not good. However you look at it, it is not a good title reign. There has been like zero interesting stories. He has a cool entrance, yes, but like what iconic matches that have come out? What iconic stories? So LA Knight wins it back, and Carmelo, he keeps racking up wins, and this is a pretty basic storyline where Carmelo racks up wins and he keeps getting in LA Knight's face because he thinks he's ready for a title shot again. And LA Knight accepts. This goes down at WrestleMania, and it should be a good match because they've had good ones like the Saudi Arabia one, Crown Jewel with Andrade involved in the triple threat. You could insert Andrade, but I don't know how much sense it makes at this point. So they go at it, and in the end, Carmelo Hayes wins the US Championship because we gotta start building Carmelo Hayes. We gotta give him something to run with. Like, sometimes you give someone the ball and they drop it. He hasn't had the ball yet at all. So let's give him the US title. Let's have a big statement victory at WrestleMania and see what Carmelo does with it afterwards. So, Carmelo Hayes, new United States champion. And now it is time for the next match. This has been how long? When was Crown Jewel? November. So by April, it will be about 6 to 7 months in the making. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, WrestleMania. Now, I just put their names on the screen. If you want, you could give this a no DQ stipulation and it would make complete sense. So I'm just going to throw that out there. This match, like I said, it's been a long running story. Kevin put him on the shelf with the pile driver in Montreal, or not Montreal, sorry, I was thinking another chamber 2 years ago. What I love, in Toronto, we're gonna get Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I am fully expecting Kevin Owens to run through Sami Zayn and put him on the shelf for some time. So Kevin does that, In the match, he's about to give Sammy another power bomb or pile driver. Sorry, pile driver. And then Randy Orton comes in. He does a RKO and looks at the WrestleMania sign, looks at Kevin Owens. It's as simple as that. And they engage in the feud that they started way back in late October and early November. And Kevin Owens, he cuts those promos about how Randy betrayed him, how Randy stuck by Cody's side, his blind loyalty to Cody Rhodes, this and that. And then Randy's like, man, you're just jealous of Cody Rhodes. And Kevin's like, you'll do the same thing to him. Like that's how the story is. We get to WrestleMania, they go at it, they beat the complete heckles out of each other. If it's an ODQ match, we could see blood. If it's not an ODQ match, a little blood would be cool as well. I'm just thinking, yeah, out of every match on the show, maybe Seth and Roman warrants blood, but this warrants blood the most. So, you see, in this one, at the end of the match, Kevin Owens defeats Randy Orton. That may seem like an odd decision because Randy has just returned. However, Kevin Owens, he's been on a really good run and he deserves this big victory. And this could start sending signals to Randy Orton, perhaps later in the year, that maybe Cody Rhodes isn't always there for him. If Cody doesn't help him beat Kevin Owens here, and Kevin just beats him, maybe Randy's thinking about switching things up, switching up his allegiances perhaps. So this could lead into many scenarios for the future, but here I have Kevin Owens get a shock victory over Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So thus far, the night has been very heel dominated. So will that be the case in the next one? Your main event for night one. I just want to add in, I was debating on putting this as the night two main event. I think, so this to me is better than the WWE title match. I would put it on night two, but night two, these two don't have as much star mainstream power as the other two on night two. So that's why I put this in the night one main event. You could put it in the night two main event, and I would be fine with it. I might wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, I should have put this as the night two main event. It can go back and forth to me. So, in the night one main event, Gunther defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Jey Uso. And this one writes itself. Jey can't overcome Gunther. Jey's been told his whole career that he's a twin. He'll never be anything more than a tag team guy. And he has to prove to Gunther, prove to the world. Gunther digs into him. I have Gunther run down his entire family. I have Gunther tell Jey Uso that Jey wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for his family. Gunther could tell Jey Uso that Gunther he wasn't raised in the world of professional wrestling. He had to find that passion and he became a world champ. Meanwhile, Jey Uso, he was born into this business and he's still only a tag team guy and he'll never be anything more. Gunther was bred for this. Jay is the failure of his family. He failed the bloodline, all this digs into him, and we get maximum heat by the time WrestleMania rolls around. And in this match, I see that I am hoping that this is played out like Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan. If you haven't seen that match, definitely watch it. It's great. It is easily top three Daniel Bryan matches in his career, and that is saying something. Sorry if you hear background noise, my PC is acting up, but that is saying something about Daniel Bryan. So this match has the potential to be that good, and they go at it. In the end, Jey Uso super kicks Gunther, goes for the splash. Gunther kicks out, goes, keeps going after it. Finally, he hits like a third Uso splash. 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso wins, and we end WrestleMania Night 1 with everybody yeeting away. So, that is Night 1 of WrestleMania. Before we get to Night 2, I'm gonna address 2 matches at once. I said 6 each show, but I just showed 5 here. So, I wanna address a stipulation I thought of. And I give credit to Superkick Studios, really good YouTuber. He came up with this idea for WrestleMania 38, and I want to implement it this year, and I'm putting it in my video as part of my fantasy book. So this match, I'm calling it the next in line, the next one in line match. So the way this works, there's one for the women, one for the men, and it is a 6-pack challenge. And what this does, it finds a way to get people on the show who don't have huge storylines. Now, I am putting 6 matches on each show. There could very well be 7 and 7, but I don't want this video to go too long, so you could involve storylines in these matches to make up. Like the men's one, Solo and Jacob could be in it, and then you have them go at it in that. And then in the women's one, you could have Lyra and Becky in it, and they could go at it in the women's one. So you can kind of mix the stories, but the general stipulation, it is a 6-pack challenge for the women and the men who are not already in matches at WrestleMania, and the winner will get a championship shot of their choosing, a world championship shot of their choosing at Backlash. So on the men's side, we have the likes of, as you can see on the screen, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, Damian Priest, and then you could put the Bloodline, you could put Logan Paul, you could put anyone like that you want to. And then on the women's side, you can see we got Liv Morgan, Bayley, Chelsea Green. You can put Becky Lynch in, you can put Lyra Valkyria in, you can put like all sorts of people in, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae. You can put all sorts of people, but the winners will be, seriously, on the men's side, we have Sami Zayn winning, and he will earn a championship match at Backlash. He will be challenging for the WWE Championship. And then on the women's side, we have Bayley winning, and she will be challenging for the Women's World Championship at Backlash. So We got Sammy fighting the WWE champion, whoever that is by the end of the night. Then Bailey versus Io at Backlash. So you could put either match on night one or night two. I personally would put the men's one on night one and the women's one on night two. So that's how I do it. Now let's get back to the normal matches that would appear on WrestleMania. Kicking off WrestleMania Night 2. Oh boy, it is Sheamus, whose the skin color is clearly too bright for my screen. Sorry about that. And then we have Braun Breaker, and there is one thing actually I want to point out. I mentioned earlier, before we get to that match, sorry about this, I mentioned earlier that there are some things in the background that are cool that I put into this. So, with Las Vegas being casino themed, all about betting, all about poker, all about this, all about that. Clearly, I don't know much about it. So, I decided to, in the background, put some themes in. So, here we got Io Casino, and we have Bianca, Io, and Rhea. And then in the middle, we have Yeet Street, and we have Jey Uso. And then here on the right side for me, we got Betrayal Blackjack and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. So, little cool thing I added to the background. I think it's cool. Back to normal scheduling. Intercontinental title, and really, this is a story of Sheamus on his last legs trying to win that championship. He comes back like on the next Raw or the one after. He wants an IC title match. Braun Breaker's like, I already beat you, man. Like, I got AJ Styles, I got Penta, I got a bunch of new people. Oh yeah, Penta could be in the next in line match as well. Next one in line. So he's like, I got other people on my plate, and Sheamus keeps bothering him about it. But at the end, Sheamus is finally like, okay, this is all I want, the Intercontinental title. If I don't win this title, my career is not complete. This is the one thing I haven't done. I will risk it all to get the Intercontinental title. I will put my career on the line at WrestleMania 41 if it means I get one more crack at that belt. And Braun Breaker agrees very quickly. So, this is a story of Braun Breaker underestimating Sheamus. He's beaten him, he's pinned him twice at Survivor Series 2024, show I was at, and then at Saturday Night's main event. These two go at it again. They put on a banger like they always do, and Sheamus wins the Intercontinental title. Feel good victory for the lobster head Sheamus. So now the next match is a tables, ladders, and chairs four-way match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. That is the SmackDown ones held by DIY. We are. And they will be defending against Motor City Machine Guns, Pretty Deadly, and the Street Profits. And this feud has already been set up. DIY retained against Motor City Machine Guns at the Rumble. Street Profits attacked them after. Pretty Deadly were siding with DIY. Johnny Gargano was using them. They finally broke free. So they got 3 challengers on their tail, and they're going to defend against all of them at WrestleMania 41. This match will be a barn burner because all 4 of these teams are capable of going out there and giving us a match worthy of the TLC name. And in the end, DIY will retain the tag team championships, and after this, they will keep feuding with Pretty Deadly. We keep building Pretty Deadly up, and by June, you have them win the tag titles at another pay-per-view. But for now, DIY still tag champs. So, I like what I did there. Now, the next match. This one is beyond personal, as WWE says. So, it is Drew McIntyre versus John Cena. This all starts in the Elimination Chamber match. Man, this is one crazy Elimination Chamber. So, or person, this is one crazy Elimination Chamber. This one, John Cena ends up eliminating Drew. Drew is so focused on taking Punk out, taking Rollins out, that Cena gets a roll up on him and eliminates him. After the match, or after the elimination, Drew McIntyre obliterates John Cena. And Cena, excuse me, is one of the final 2 people in the match, and he loses because of it. And now the feud begins. Drew McIntyre in his promos, he's telling Cena he took his spot. He's telling John Cena if he weren't here, Drew would have his moment in front of fans. If it wasn't for guys like John Cena and CM Punk, selfish people in the business who think they could just say, I want to be in the Elimination Chamber match and get in, who think that they could just say, I want a main event WrestleMania and do it. He is fed up with that, and he is going to take it all out on John Cena. Meanwhile, we have Cena. He wanted to main event WrestleMania so bad. He wants that 17th title so bad. He tells Drew McIntyre he wants that title. No, he is obsessed with winning the 17th championship. And with all these people pushing their weight around, he will do it no matter the cost. So that's how this happens, and now the match is made for WrestleMania 41. John Cena, can he beat Drew McIntyre? No, he can't. Drew McIntyre defeats John Cena fair and square. This absolutely crushes John Cena. He is sitting there in the ring contemplating everything, and Drew McIntyre stands there, arm raised. Yep, you saw my mole. Arm raised, and he is ready for that World Championship. So, right here, we are planting the seeds for eventually Drew to win the championship, and then let's go SummerSlam. John Cena, Drew McIntyre, World Heavyweight Championship. Sounds good to me. So, that being said, it is time for the second to last match. The one that I am not a big fan of, but it has been made official. Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton. I don't really know. I'm kind of stumped here. I don't know what to do to add to the story because Charlotte Flair is just not good at telling stories. Like, she is alright in the ring, but she is not the storyteller. And Tiffany Stratton, I like Tiffany Stratton, but she cannot play a babyface role. Her character, her entrance, her music, the way she talks on the mic, everything, it is heel. It is not babyface at all. I don't know how this goes. This should be a good match, and Tiffany Stratton retains the title because, of course, she should. So now it is finally time for the main event. CM Punk, the winner of the Elimination Chamber match, finally getting his main event versus the American Nightmare, the Prodigal Son, the whoa, you're only smoking mirrors person, Stardust. I think I got his nicknames. Maybe I'm forgetting one. So, Cody Rhodes. And the story here is just what was set up on Raw. Punk goes into Cody, I'm your only friend, I'm your only friend. But in this build, Cody becomes paranoid. He's like, Punk, no, no. You gotta stop telling me that. The last time someone told me that they're my only friend. The last time that I fought my friend in a match, it destroyed me. It resulted in my mentor, Randy Orton, getting injured. Sorry about that. Oh, oops. Sorry, my bad. Sorry about that interruption. So he says it resulted in my mentor, Randy Orton, getting injured. So I cannot take this risk again. And Cody is getting more paranoid that he is slowly losing everyone. Like, he goes up to Randy, he's worried. So the story is, how heavy is the crown that Cody bears? That is the WWE Championship. Is it getting to him too much? So these two wrestle, of course, because Punk won the Chamber in the main event, and Cody Rhodes ends up retaining, but it takes a toll on him. Like, he barely gets out of this match champ. Punk goes through the GTS, Cody slips out crossroads, 1, 2, 3. It is like sudden. So Cody retains, and you could run an angle afterwards with The Rock or Randy Orton, but I saved that for after. You could just have Cody go off the show, being champ, shaking hands with Punk. So that is, excuse me, that is my WrestleMania booking. Now, for this one, I am more limited than last year's, I find, because last year when I did Future Slam 3, I believe it was, I was doing it in the beginning of January. I had significant amount of time. It was before the Royal Rumble. Here, that is not the case. So, with what I got, this is the best I could do. Thank you for watching. This has been Suplexus. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are. Thank you so much if you made it this far. Really appreciate it. This has been Suplexus. I'll see you in the next one. It might be Will Ospreay versus Roman Reigns. Sounds crazy, but if that idea comes to fruition, you'll see why. Have a good one.